Yo, how's it going, guys? It's your boy, Richard Unicorn Caller here on a nice and brisk morning. It is very cold outside, but we got some, not really news, but I guess a discussion. We can talk about the Bazaar discussion. At this point, or the Bazaar problem. Should this be a problem set video? I don't know. Honestly, I really don't know. We'll just make a discussion, I suppose. I don't think there's really nothing too bad with the Bazaar, but we had a statement apparently that came in from, I guess, the Wizard 101 Discord, and Atmoplex pretty much summarizes as that Artie says that I see others complain that the change favors bots, but are they really saying that this benefit is only there because the trading exploit was removed? Later adds on that trading via the Bazaar, how is that not exploiting a weakness to circumvent trading restrictions? So yeah, we'll read the full message for Artie. We'll try to understand what they're talking about. He says that we can discuss the impact to community gameplay that trading restrictions may have, and we are working to standardize the quality of gear found in the Bazaar, as it seems that at some point it was decided that Descent gear wasn't allowed to in the auction house. Meanwhile, I see others complain that the change favors bots, but are they really saying that this benefit is only there because the trading exploit was removed? I suppose that was my original question. And then going on from this one, someone says, question as asked, yes, the bots can monitor 24/7, and now the players would need to. Losing social aspects of the Bazaar being gone is definitely a massive disappointment, as others have said or alluded to. Calling social interaction altruism and exploit is a scary thing to see as a player. If I wanted less player interaction, especially with items that are intended to be resold to players, I wouldn't play an MMO. If players found a way to trade no auction items, I would get it, but I still can't find a reason to halt players trading items through an intended vendor to take one player's items and give it to another. It definitely feels like a way to push players to grind more or pay more, both of which are bad as a player. And then Artie responds with, I'm actually surprised at this take, to be honest. How do you define exploit other than clearly circumventing the intent of the design? We can debate the trading topic separately, but if trading isn't allowed, and you know trading via the Bazaar was not the intent of the system, as has been stated here, then how is that not exploiting a weakness in the Bazaar to circumvent the intentional trading restrictions? Total farming effort aside, so you feel giving someone a piece of gear via trading is a higher quality social interaction than helping them farm for that same piece of gear. Jesus Christ. Oh my god. This is a really bad take. Sorry, Artie. This isn't the right forum to debate a nuanced topic like trading, to be honest, so would prefer rating until a stream, but the exploit take is something more clear-cut to me. What? What? Wait. But the exploit take is more something clear to me? You know, maybe I will make this a problem set video. I sort of get where Artie is coming from, but like, I gotta be honest though. I feel like lately though, Wizard 101 has an identity crisis where it doesn't really know what it wants to be. And in this case, we have the Bazaar. I don't think they really know what they want the Bazaar to be, in a sense. They're trying to go up against the bots. They're saying that, you know, trading directly to a player apparently is, I guess, an exploit. I've actually done that before. I gave like some agave leaves to some of my friends and some other reagents from time to time. Of course, we had to like go in Discord and time it like 1, 2, 3, sell, you know, like super sell it real quick, and then you know, give somebody the item or have them buy it basically. It's just a nice way to kind of give items to the player. And again, I'm just gonna keep mentioning this. Fusion Fall. Fusion Fall does exist, and they had a trading system, and that was a really nice piece of social interaction. You could literally actually mail items to players. You can even give them like coins and stuff like that. Like, I feel like Fusion Fall was really ahead of its time, alongside some other Fallen MMOs. And I feel like Wizard 101, obviously, congrats for them for 16 years, which is awesome. But again, I just feel like Wizard 101 is kind of really stuck in their 2008 mindset, because we're about to go to 2024, and in 2025 you're potentially going to release this to consoles. There's already console players that still don't know about any news about when that release. So to see me and every other content creator or people see all the news about the bazaar and trading and all this unfun stuff is gonna make a lot of people not want to appreciate the game or even play the game in general. And I think that's the bad part about whenever it comes to these hot takes or whatever and the bazaar. And I understand, of course, they really don't want people to like trade items in the bazaar, but I feel like that was kind of like the main purpose of the bazaar. Like, literally, I can show you right now. I'm going to sell something. Let's say someone needs fuel, right? Let's say my friend needs fuel. I'm going to sell that to the public, and then somebody can get it. But if you're saying that that's not going to be the main intent of directly trading, then it's like, okay, so what's the point of using the bazaar? I've actually stopped using the bazaar, quite frankly. I've just quick sold everything, just because most of the stuff you can't even sell in general in the bazaar. I was really kind of disappointed in this whole bazaar rework. Like, you literally can't sell most of the things. Most of the stuff is like no auction. Yeah, most of it is just no auction. So I don't know, like, I guess I sort of get it. They just don't want players trading, but it's like, I feel bad having to sell all this junk rather than just give it to a player. Or maybe they just have spaghetti coding, as we've seen with every single update, and lately the quality of the updates have just been getting worse and worse. Like, if you go back to older content such as Tartarus or Mount Olympus or Darkmoor perhaps, that were like 10 years ago, you can see that the quality was there, but now it just seems like the quality of these updates have just been really decreasing. Like, another reason why a lot of people aren't really using the bazaar, or at least from what I've seen through comments, is that they're not really the biggest fan of the whole UI. I guess the UI is a little tiny text for a lot of people. It's like hard to read with the eyes, I guess. That might just be a nitpicky thing, but that's just one of the things I've seen from the bazaar. But going back to like the whole social interaction of it, though, I feel like beyond treasure cards, though, there's really not much social interaction with this game at all. I feel like it's really pushing the opposite, and it's really becoming really solitaire, which it's not, I don't know, it just doesn't really seem fun. I mean, I remember back in the day, I could always go to the bazaar just to buy everything, and now I just don't even think about the bazaar. Like, sometimes I'm just even too lazy to go to my house with the tapestry on it just to go to the bazaar, because it doesn't seem like the devs even want us to use the bazaar anymore at this point. So I understand where it's coming from as, I guess, an exploit, but I feel like that word exploit has been like overused and oversaturated so long. I feel like it's just lost its meaning at this point, and I feel like a lot of people don't actually know what a exploit is. If you just say that you don't want people to use the bazaar, simple as that, I'll just use quick sell. Even though quick sell is gonna sell for less, it's a lot more convenient. And I think that's probably more of a reason why they added a quick sell feature in general, just so we don't have to go through this bazaar fiasco every time the bazaar shuts down, or they have to put maintenance on the bazaar, or something happens with the bazaar. They have like a 30-minute timer to buy items. Like, I don't know what's going on at this point, but you guys are doing too much to the point where I don't even want to use the bazaar anymore. So, like I said, I totally understand. They just really, really just do not want players at all, which I don't know why for this video game in an MMO RPG, but I guess MMO kind of lost its meaning decades ago. I guess they just really just do not want people to trade items through the bazaar whatsoever. And so, I can't, apparently, since it is an exploit, I'm guessing that's also against the TOS, Terms of Service. So, hey, guess what, guys? If you're caught exploiting, if you're caught using the bazaar, you're gonna get banned. That's what I'm reading. That's literally what I'm reading from this, because none of the hot takes, it doesn't really make sense though. It feels like it's very punishing on the player for using the bazaar in general. That doesn't make a whole lot of sense to me. 16 years ago, this was never a problem. I saw this comment, and all of a sudden now it's a problem. Like, I feel like we're stuck in 2008, and I don't know what's going on. Like, what's going on? The bazaar was fine. Like, and nothing was wrong with the bazaar in general. I don't know why this is becoming such a wide range issue now. But if they don't want people to trade directly through the bazaar, I'm just not going to use the bazaar anymore. Simple as that. I'm just going to quick sell my items, and yeah, I'm just going to keep getting loot, because literally they just don't want trading at all in this game. They don't want you to trade reagents. They don't want you to trade any type of gear, obviously. They don't want you to trade jewels. They don't want you to trade pets. They don't want you to trade pet snacks. They don't want you to trade even treasure cards, even though we have treasure card trading in the game. But even then, that has limits to certain treasure cards that you just can't trade, or some that you can't even sell. You know, there's a lot of things actually that are no auction. So again, I'm kind of just disappointed with this whole bazaar update in general, and like I said, that's probably the main point. They just don't want players getting their hands on items. And like I said, Fusion Troll had an awesome trading system, right? And it was nice. It added a social interaction with it, right? Even if it was a higher level item, it was still nice to get traded such great item, you know? You kind of like high levels helping out low levels. But then lately, over the years, we've seen that Wizard 101 doesn't really want high levels to help low levels with the stat scaling. Not even the stat scaling, but just the level scaling. You will barely even see any type of team ups in the Arc 1 areas. That change, really, the team up change, that really still just irks me, and that still boggles my mind. I really want to know what was the benefit of, you know, level scaling or separating the levels in the team ups. I mean, I usually don't help in Krokotopia and some of the other older worlds in general, but I don't know. I just feel like that was like an issue that wasn't an issue at all. You know? Same thing with doubling of the seeds when Beastman seeds came out. I guess they just didn't want people to double up seeds during double gardening. And now we don't have double seeds anymore. It's just like double pet snacks and stuff like that. Like, again, I don't understand some of the benefits. Like, they made the hatching kiosk cost so much now just to hatch pets with. And they limited the search pet talents to like only 2. And again, I don't understand where is the benefit coming from. Lately, some of these updates have been doing the polar opposite of a benefit. It's actually been doing like a negative for the player base. And that's why a lot of people grow a lot of negativity, including me, towards this game. Because of the issues that aren't issues that are basically creating issues, right? And I think the devs, one day or another down the line, are going to have to figure out what they want from this game. If you don't want people using the bazaar to trade, take out the bazaar. Easy. To just take out the bazaar. I mean, it doesn't seem like they really want people to use the bazaar. Just take it out of the game. It literally takes one click to just take this NPC out of the game. Just take him out of the game. I mean, at that point, you don't want anybody using the bazaar. I don't understand how selling an item to a player would be considered an exploit. I think an exploit is using bots. I think an exploit is using a cheat engine. Of course, I don't say anything because I ain't no snitch, but, like, I would consider that kind of an exploit. Or even a hack, in a sense. But If they're considering this a quote-unquote exploit, I'm just not going to use the Bazaar anymore because I don't want to risk getting my account banned. I've already got my account banned once, and that was during the raid key fiasco. Now that was an exploit because that was a bug in the game, right? And people took advantage of that willingly. That's an exploit. You know the Azteca raid chest fiasco? When the raid chest would literally spawn in as soon as you walk into the raid gate, and people were just opening up the raid gear, like the raid, and they got raid gear. That is an exploit. Okay, I consider that an exploit. You know, I'm gonna leave you guys in the comments to tell me and define to me what an exploit is, because I'm sure y'all have a lot of opinions about it, but it personally for me, it just doesn't seem like they want people to use the Bazaar. So like I said, I'm probably just not gonna use the Bazaar anymore. I'm probably just gonna quick sell. I mean, quick selling is always easier for me just because, again, I have a lot of items that can't even be sold at the Bazaar in general. So, you know, I think the Bazaar has kind of lost its purpose for me, which sucks. I've used it for so many years, but again, if this is considered an exploit, I'm not going to use it. And I understand where Artie is trying to, like, go for. You know, I understand a lot of these devs have their philosophies, and, you know, still to this day, I really don't understand most of their philosophies or their original intention at this point. I feel like, again, Wizard 101 has an identity crisis, and it doesn't know what it wants to be. Like, choose one side. Do you want the Bazaar or not? Alright, simple, straight, and forward. If you don't want the Bazaar, take it out of the game. Like, just take it out of the game. Because I don't use it no more. And if you don't want players using it, or I guess trading, sometimes trading might not even be good in the Bazaar because, again, you have the Bazaar bots. Okay, you have Bazaar bots that instantly click everything. I know it's kind of like maybe the solution would just be to add a trading function, but as some of y'all in the comments have said, no, Wizard 101 should never have a trading function because apparently that would just put the entire game in the apocalypse. I don't know why, but again, it's really, this honestly should not be this long of an issue. Like, really, this shouldn't be such a widespread big issue, but I'm gonna let the devs take care of that, and they can figure out the rest from there. But maybe I'm missing something, or I'm not understanding the philosophy about anything. But, you know, that's something they're just going to have to figure out themselves. But I'll let you guys ponder about that to yourselves. Let me know if you guys think that the Bazaar is an exploit or not. I would love to know your thoughts. But until then, I will see you guys later. Peace out.